This is what I'm going to start calling the Kane season. It's the season of giving us what we want. It's not just the season of giving, right? It's like holiday, better to give than receive. But they are giving us exactly what we ask for time and time and time again. The funny part, though, is they are kind of making us ask for it. We have to verbalize it. We have to acknowledge it. They're not thinking ahead, right? They're not giving the gift that oh, I didn't even know I need this, but it's great. They're giving the gift that's like, you wrote a specific list out, and I've gotten everything on your list. Here you go. It all started, and we've kind of been tracking it, but it all started back very early on in the season when the Canes were playing at Edmonton early in their road trip. And I said I wanted Aho to have a superstar moment to match what Connor McDavid put on the ice. I wanted Sebastian Aho, your dude, to have a superstar moment against the NHL's dude. And then he scored an overtime game winner with 7 seconds left in OT, and I went, that's exactly what I was asking for. And it's happened time and time and time again since. It's happened over and over again since then. It seems like we ask, and they give us what we want. This week alone, before the Tuesday game, during first goal scorer, a little game we play, you can go find the audio. During first goal scorer, I asked Jordan Martinook to score, and I picked him to be the first goal scorer, but the entire rant was about how he's due. I said, I went back, I did all the math from last year. Last year, he scored a goal every 5.8 games on average, and they were looking at like 9-10 games into the season. He hadn't scored yet. So I'm going like Martinook was the only forward on the team without a goal. I wanted Martinook to score. Well, he scored that night, and then he came back 2 days later and scored the first goal in the next game on Thursday. You ask, you receive. So yesterday, I really liked the way the schedule worked out, Tuesday to Thursday. They played Philly on Tuesday, and they had a sloppy game after taking control, right? They got up 3-1. I thought they should have been able to slam the door. I thought Pyotr Kochetkov should have played better. I thought they should have been able to have a no-stress Tuesday night victory over Philly. Didn't happen. Philly stormed back. They tied it up. There was essentially half of the third period was played at a tie score, 4-4, until the last minute. The Canes, led by Martin Necas, scored 2 to win. It was a chaotic game. I didn't like it. It's a win, so you like it, but I didn't love it, would be the way to say it. So then Thursday comes back around. Instead of playing Philly, the worst team in the Metropolitan Division, you're playing Pittsburgh, the second worst team in the Metropolitan Division in the standings. And I wanted a killer instinct game. If you get a 2-goal lead, slam the door. Have a little bloodthirst. If you sense the end can be near, finish it. At the end of the first period, the Canes had a 2-goal lead over the Penguins. And I went, here it is. It's the perfect test. This is the test he didn't pass on Tuesday. Can you slam the door once you get a little bit of a lead? Let's see what you do now. Well, by the end of the second period, they were up 4-0.
Yeah, I think they aced it.
And I went, yep, that's exactly what I was looking for. Thank you. It's the email where someone says, like, have you done this yet? And not only have you done it, but you get to reply to a previous email where you sent it to them and say, like, is this what you're talking about? It's like, yep, exactly. Thank you. Goodbye. I said, Canes, do you have the killer instinct? They said, you can see attached. I said, oh, appreciate it. Never mind. Withdraw the tone from my email. You guys got it. 4-0. They ended up winning 5-1. Pyotr Kochetkov, again, I asked for it. He needed a better bounce-back game. Didn't play great on Tuesday. Gave up a couple softies. I hypothesized that perhaps the Canes even considered or maybe even planned on having Spencer Martin in goal last night. And then after Tuesday, they went, nah, you know what? Let's get him back up on the horse as quick as we can. Let's put Pyotr Kochetkov in the game on Thursday. Bounce-back game he had, to say it like Yoda would. 35 saves in a near shutout. Only goal allowed. Weird one where he just lost the puck, should have covered it up, ended up flopping around on the ice. But it doesn't sting as bad when it happens when you're up 5-0. And you have a billion saves before that. Some pretty darn impressive ones. Rod Brind'amour talked about Pyotr Kochetkov stepping up with Freddie Anderson out the past few weeks.
Well, it's crucial. It's the most important position, obviously, in our game. And we often say we don't necessarily need you to be that good, but tonight he was that good. It's just being consistent in that position, and he's been that. So tonight was a real good game. I think the other night maybe there was a couple you were like, but obviously tonight he was on it.
That's about as good as a compliment as you can get from a coach. We don't even need you to be that good. You were so good. It's like, hey, you know what? A little too good, a little over the top good. Now he was very, very impressive last night. That's what you need, particularly at goalie. Like goalie, pitcher, quarterback, you need amnesia from previous games or previous plays even. You know the positions. Kicker, you know the positions. Goalie is one of them.
I went to Canes practice today, and I talked to Rod, and I asked him about that. Like, because Tuesday wasn't his best performance for Pyotr, and he says the best thing about Pyotr is that he forgets about it. He just moves on. He's like, it's just, all right, that happened in the past. All right, on to the next thing. Like, he's just on to the next one. He doesn't let one bad performance linger into another, or maybe lets a bad goal in linger into another. That's one of his strengths.
And he proved it last night.
Yeah.
I mean, to be up 5-0, win 5-1, for your 8th straight win, to close out a 4-game homestand 4-0, following a 5-1 homestand before that, things are clicking. And I almost think we need to start being more greedy. It's like we've given somebody who's buying us a gift a list, and they came back the next day with everything on the list. We're like, we should ask for more.
Yeah, like, okay, there it is.
Pony, right? It's like how crazy can we get? Because preseason, what did we want? We wanted Martin Necas and Svech to be the guys that leveled up. I'm seeing a lot, obviously, from Martin Necas, but Svech doing a lot of the things we're looking for, being a little bit more physical after an offseason where he's healthy. Wanted shots from the blue line. We're getting that. I mean, I guess Sebastian Aho could be a bit more productive as far as a goal scorer for himself, but I mean, I don't know. I don't even know if you need that, right? Because he's still setting everybody up. He's still walking away essentially a point per game.
I was talking to a couple of people. It's funny. I was talking to players in the locker room today. They're like, "Yeah, we haven't played well the last 2 games." I was like, "I'm sorry, you guys won 5-1 last night. You guys remember that?" but that's kind of the thing. Is like that even when they don't play their best, they can still beat you like they did last night.
I mean, I'm joking saying we should be more greedy, but it's also like the people who I think could be doing more have very obvious, like, no, you should, like, they're doing, like, let me use an example here. Jalen Chatfield hasn't scored yet. Him and Burns are the only 2 people that haven't scored goals. Part of me wants to go, like, Chatfield, man, be more aggressive offensively. Last night was his very first career 3-point game. He had 3 assists. It's like, are you really going to look at the guy that just had his very first career 3-point game and go, need more from you? Like that, I mean, talk about getting greedy. It's the same thing with Aho, right? I want to look at him and go, hey, man, need you to be a little bit more of a goal scorer, but also he is literally 1 point per game. He is on 12 points through 12 games. You're really gonna jump on somebody who's a point per game?
No.
I know I'm saying be greedy, but I mean, you got to be realistic. You can't ask for the moon and the stars.
It is weird that if you look at the stats overall between Seth Jarvis and Sebastian Aho, they only have 7 goals combined through 12 games. And if we would have said that at the beginning of the year, it'd been like, uh-oh. If those 2 guys aren't scoring, been like, uh-oh, like sound the alarms. Nope, they're doing just fine.
And no one's really, upsetting the apple cart.
It doesn't hurt that Jack Roslovic matched his goal total from last season already.
And he's, like I said, we're asking for things. It started to becoming I don't want to say a running joke, but something that everyone that covers the team was monitoring because he had 1 billion goals and no assists. And it was, what's going on here? It's kind of weird. He's almost scored as many goals as he had last season in 59 games, but he has no assists. Well, last night he picks up the assist just to end that narrative. Now has 9 goals and 1 assist. And I would guess that the assists will multiply from there.